Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Esther Amos, and if this is your first time here, you are welcome. On this podcast, I talk about things, I give stories, lessons, and things that I experience in my life during the week. So you're welcome to listen to old episodes, share, follow, and have a good
Life
time.
weekly with
I
Esther
feel like such a
Amos.
big babe right now. I am on Spotify.
It's not
It's
a
funny and
state
sad at the
of
same time.
flow that I haven't been in years. The last time I experienced that kind of flow was in
Nothing else
2023.
mattered to me at that point. Let's get into this episode.
But there's this song they usually sing for first timers in our church. Wait, let me see if I can sing it. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. Here's my shaker. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. I can see all over you the glory of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. Yes, that's the song they usually sing for first timers. But I think we later changed the song as we grew. I don't even know the new one. But anyway, how was your week? How are you guys? So for me this week, in all the weeks I've lived this year, or maybe not all the weeks, but this week I happened to I went out of my way to enjoy activities, to participate in new things, a lot of new things, by the way. And I would say my week went like this. Is it cosine graph? In trigonometry, there's this graph. There's a cosine graph that starts from 1 and goes up and comes down to 1 and goes up like that. So my week was very good. Many exciting things, but it didn't start like that. My week didn't start excitingly, if that's the word. But anyways, I was confused at the beginning of this week. And why was I confused? So I had an event that I registered for. I first saw the event on Instagram and I skipped it. I was like, this would be nice if I could attend. But then it popped up again on my Instagram, and one of my top creators, my favorite creators that I follow, she was speaking about it, and I went to check it out again. I didn't really understand, but I knew that it was a program for women in media, arts, and the creative space in general. They were having like a 4-day program, but this particular incubator was under the umbrella of events that they were having, and I wanted to go. I really wanted to go, but then I was not thinking, do I really want to go? La 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 la. And then I had to sit down at some point and have a conversation with myself. And I was like, okay, Esther, why are you scared of going for this event? And then she now said that the reason I am scared or I have a little fear is because it's new. And our brains like knowing the outcome of things. And when that outcome is not certain, there's this fear that can come in. And I think that was the main reason I was scared, because I know that, okay, if I stay at home, I'm going to have a normal day, a normal week. But if I go for this event, I don't know what I'm going to meet. I don't know how it's going to challenge my thinking. And I spoke up about it. I told my mom that, okay, this is what I'm thinking, blah blah blah. We see how this woman just, oh yeah, stand up. She was like, oh yeah, stand up. Let's start packing your things, because I have to change location so I'll be able to attend the event comfortably. It was on a Tuesday. So I had to pack my things and I was just grumbling. And she was like, if you like anything you want to say, you shall go for that event. And I was happy that she pushed me, because I had a lot of fun that Tuesday. But before then, on Monday, I went to the market and I was reminded by how much I do not like going to the market. It is one of the most annoying places in Nigeria. It is so annoying. I prefer going to the supermarkets, to be honest, because right now the things in the supermarkets are even cheaper than the things they sell in the like general open market. And in the open market, you'll be walking up and down, you'll be sweating, trying to haggle price with a trader. When you go to the supermarket, you know that okay, you have a budget. This is the price of this thing that you want. You're going to check it. You don't have the money, you get out. And then, apart from the sweating and everything, those men that like to drag people, it's women they like dragging. Because tell me why I was looking for something and I passed by a particular road. I didn't even know where I was going to. Normally I go to the market with my mom. But this time around, I went on my own and I didn't know anywhere. See, I was calling her all through. And I was even pissed off at some point. I was like, you know what? I'm not coming to this place again. So I was looking for something and I passed by one road. And this man was there pressing his phone. He looked up. I was like, what do you want? I said, you're not selling what I want. I passed the first time. The second time I passed again when I was leaving, he still dragged my hand. And I was like, what now? Have you not seen me before? But those people, I don't even know what their issue is. Whether it's the touching that will now confuse me to buy what they're selling when that's not what I want. And what else? Okay, also on Monday, I did more of my speech exercises. So I said last week that I was taking some speech articulation classes. And to be honest, these speech classes I have been taking is one of the most daring thing I've done for self-improvement. Like I'm all for self-improvement, but this one challenged my identity. So normally I have this identity that is either I've built it up in my head or it has been built up by suggestions from people. But I just generally think that I have a soft voice, that I can't talk louder. I can't talk loud, my voice is low, I can't shout. But while I was doing these speech exercises, I shouted. Oh my god, I shouted. And I was like, last week the only thing I did was to look up new words to add to my vocabulary. And I didn't even think I've used the words, but I checked for some new words, checked their meaning, checked alternatives and all of that. But this week I focused on speaking louder and I realized that at first I was a bit scared to take the exercises because it was challenging to the identity I had of myself in my head that, oh, I'm a soft spoken person, I can't speak loud. But that's not true. And I was making me question this whole thing about identity. And most times we need to change, but um because we have built our entire life around a particular identity that, oh, this is how I am, and anything that wants to disrupt that, we are always we don't like it. We don't like anything disrupting the way we think we are. But the truth is, what this speech exercise and everything has taught me is that you can change. There's no way you are. And that's a good thing because you can evolve, you can become better every day. If you see that there's a place you need to improve, there's a gap in your life that you need to work on, you can work on it, you can change. There's no way you are. The way you are is just in your head. And you always have to be open. You have to be a dynamic person. You have to be open to change so that you can grow and learn new things. And it was really fun. I was on YouTube, I watched some videos, I practiced, I actually sat down and I spoke loud and I realized that I have been speaking from, I don't know what they call it, but I've not been speaking or taking the source of strength for my voice from the right place, and that's why my voice cracks sometimes and I'm like, oh, my voice is cracking, my voice is, what's the word? There's a word for it. My voice is sharp cracking. But then I learned the right source of strength, the right place I should be getting the strength, the source of my strength for my speaking voice from, and how to speak louder. And I've done small practice here, but don't worry, I'm shy. But if you can notice improvement. And even now, I just spoke louder. Okay, back to how my week went. So that was on Monday, doing my speech exercises and becoming more self aware. It's really good. I think people should have more honest conversations with themselves because there's programs for mental awareness, this awareness, but what people really need is self awareness. If you know yourself, there are many situations you won't put yourself into, there are many situations you can always work your way out of. If you know yourself, you know your triggers, you know your limitations or what you think are your limitations, then your life will definitely be better. I went for the event on Tuesday to see how it's like everything around me, or maybe because in my mind I was already against going for this event, so I just saw everything that was happening around me as a sign that I should stay at home. But I was like, no, I've already started. I woke up very early. I wake up early, regardless. So I woke up by 6, normal time. I wake up, and I don't know. I somehow the event was to start by 11 a.m., but I somehow ended up leaving the house by 11 a.m. And to get there, it would take me, I think, 2 hours or 1 hour 30 minutes. And buses were scarce. First of all, that's an excuse, but I don't know why I didn't leave earlier. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember it was raining. Yes, it was raining that morning, but I still prepared. Then when the rain went down, I started dressing up and I went out. I was even on a video call with my friends, and they were like, "See the time you're going out." I was just like, "Oh, no, I hope I made something." But then when I got there, they were just rounding up the first panel session, and the main event that I went for started by 1. Can you imagine? But anyways, thank God it started late because I met it and it was so fun. I don't know how to describe this feeling of, no, there's a way you feel when you finally find a way you can contribute to the world, when you're not just existing. And then I got that feeling at the event. So normally when you go for events, it's always talk, talk, talk. You invite someone or people that have gone ahead of you that are like 10 years, 12 years in your field, and you sit down and they are talking. But this time around, they gave us a time to practice what they taught us that day. And that was the highlight of the event for me. I think that's why it's called an incubator. Is that what they call it? Something incubator program. So I think I'll keep an eye out for more incubator programs. Oh yeah, it was really nice seeing other people in the media and film space, and they said it's supposed to run for 6 months. And I know I'll be in school, but I really want to go for the second edition, so I'll be able to network more with the other women I found there. And there was one woman, Abiodun Steven. She was there in the same room. She's the producer of Breaded Life. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but I think that was the first movie I watched that I knew that I saw Bimbo, Ademoye, and Timini. I don't think I knew those two people until I watched that movie. See, don't blame me. And yeah, it was nice. It even started raining again after the whole event. But I had so much fun that day. Plus, I met one. No, I met two crazy people that day while I was getting there, but both of them helped me. But it was in a very strange and weird way. So the first time I was at the bus stop, because it's been a while I have been to this place, and I didn't even know where next to go to. So I was just standing there and I turned to this guy. I thought he was normal. Okay, it's normal, but then I didn't know he was smoking. I didn't see the cigarette in his hand. So then I asked him that he now threw the roll or whatever he was smoking on the floor, and I was like, oh my god, I wanted to run at that point, but I could not run, and I ended up going in circles with him. See, I ended up going in circles with him, and the place we were going to was just a few steps from where we were standing. But we ended up going around. So him too, he didn't know the place. He didn't know the right place, but he sure went round and helped me in quotes to find the place because I could have also walked around to find the place. But yeah, I was willing to help, but it was strange and weird. And yes, obviously, it's Lagos. They will stand by you until you give them something. And I had to give him something. Did I have to? Maybe not really. But there's this thing about human beings. When someone does something for us, we are wired to want to pay them back. And it's just normal. In fact, I've even been reading, I think that's one of the most interesting books I have read this entire year. That's if I remember the other books I've read, sure, but I've been reading about the whole psychology behind marketing. And I'm in chapter 2 of this book. And the book is 536 pages, but I promise myself I am going to finish this because I am learning a lot of things. And I'm seeing how marketing has more to do with human psychology. People call it manipulation. I think I've seen a tweet on Twitter where one girl was like, if you're good in manipulation, come to marketing, we need you. But that's just bad PR. I think to describe manipulation in a better way is just using humans' behavior, yes, human behavioral patterns to make strategic business decisions. Simple, but it was fun. And so, yeah, then I was inside the bus again. God, there was someone else that was there, and we had a very weird conversation. Like, I was so uncomfortable. I wanted to just jump down from the bus, but I couldn't because I needed to get somewhere. And then when we came down, this person was like, no, even while in the bus, they were like, are you sure you don't want my number? I'm like, no, I don't want your number. No, I don't. And then they were like, oh, why? This one, that one. I was just thinking, like, was there any point? And then we came down again and they were still asking me. And I was like, no. But beside that, they still helped me to the next place I was going to. See, I had so many stops before getting to the actual event. But thank God I got there in one piece. And then on Wednesday, another way I happened to live this week, I went, is it to museum or art center? I don't know what it is exactly, but I think it's more of a museum. Yes, it's more of a museum. It's an outing that my friends and I have been planning since, I think we started planning it at the beginning of Cyrus. It was like a whole project. We're like, okay, the idea came up in May. I think the idea came up in May, and we're like, see, everybody start saving because we don't want to hear anything by the time we're ready to go out. So by the time we're done with Cyrus, this outing must fly. And I'm just so happy that we're able to take this outing from the planning phase to the execution phase because normally many outings in group chats never leave the group chat. They always stay there. So it was good. I had fun. I went round the museum, checking some things that I didn't even understand most of them. But it was just nice to go out to experience life. And yeah, I had fun that day. But when I got back home, I was really tired and I was like, oh, I'm not going to go out again this week. But guess what? I still went out the next day. I still went out the next day, but that day was, I went to finally get a new phone, guys. I'm so happy. So, guys, this is my first podcast I'm recording from my new phone. I don't have to. What's the word? What was that my old phone putting me through? God, so many things. If I wanted to edit an audio now, I know the stress I would have gone through. But I'm just so happy and thankful to God that I was able to get this new phone. It's been it's something I wanted since I don't know, ever since I found out that that phone could not do so much of the things that I wanted to do as a creator. Because I couldn't make videos. Okay, I could make videos on that phone, but anytime I wanted to edit it, the phone would just go blank. For no reason. Just go blank. And I was like, you know what, let me just be patient and God really showed up for me. But yeah, I'm happy I was able to get any food. After getting it and I saw my balance, my account balance afterwards. I was like, who's going to refund me? My mom was like, no, you're not adults. Please, I'm still just a girl though. This adult thing, I don't understand. And I started thinking that I made a bad financial decision. But I was like, if I did not buy this phone today, God knows I would have spent this money on more outings. I'll just be going out. People think I have money, I'm flexing. But yeah, thank God I did it. And again, I think the reason why I was reluctant to also buy the phone is that same thing I discussed at the beginning. That thing where your brain is your brain is looking for clarity, your brain wants clarity. So your brain knows the outcome of failure. But let me explain it better with this. Let's say you have an exam and you know that in order for you to pass the exam, you need to study well, you need to prepare adequately for it. And because you know that if you don't prepare, you're going to fail. But if you prepare adequately, you put in your best and you read, you don't know you don't know what your effort is going to yield. So you know that okay, you put in the work, but you don't know if that work you put in is going to be enough to yield good examination score or good test score. And if you're not careful, you can just not put in the work because you don't know the outcome. But because you know the outcome you get if you don't read as much, either you fail or you do poorly. And people can spiral into that pattern and not do anything, not end up doing anything in their lives. And this is actually a very big issue. Yeah, I don't think our brain is wired to take risks, or is it? Anyways, that was it on Thursday. And on Friday, I didn't go anywhere. I was at home pressing my phone. You guys, my 100% lasted for 2 days. I just wanted to tell you. I'm so happy. This week, I really enjoyed myself because I happened to live. I really think that that's one of the reasons this week was eventful because I didn't just sit by to just see how life goes. I was up and doing, and I really think it would be good if we tried new things more, try things that we've never done before, leave your comfort zone. That way, we'll train our brains to not see taking risks as death. I don't know if there's psychology behind it. I should check it out. But yeah, the more we try new things, the more we train our brains because our brains work on repetition. So if you repeat taking risks, your brain will begin to see it as a normal thing and will not go into autopilot every time you want to try something new and try to talk you out of it. But yeah, Friday I didn't go anywhere. It was good. I've just been at home, just being happy, eating and enjoying life. Okay, I also wrote. I think I wrote on Friday. I wrote on my Substack. I think I'll drop the link to my Substack on the description or in the description box. Yeah. And see, this I'm talking about self-awareness. And Knowing yourself is one of the best things you can ever do for yourself in this life. I know we try to get to know other people and it's good to build relationship, but knowing yourself first is a good thing because it affects there's some things about you that affect your relationships, your work and other areas of your life. But you don't know, you just think it's normal. That's how you are. That's how you are thing that people usually say, oh, that's just how I am. Liar. You don't want to sit down and work on yourself. You don't want to sit down and work on yourself because there's no way we are. I remember reading a book. What's the name? Ah, what book was that? Oh, okay, I don't remember the name of the book, but the book said out of all the things, out of all the living things that God created, animals and man, human beings are the most adaptable. They are the ones that can grow. They're the ones that can change. But a dog remains a dog for the entire in its entire life cycle. But human beings can change. Today you can be a talkative. Um, today you can be shy. Tomorrow you cannot be shy. There's no. We're not rigid. We're not made rigid. You can change. You can always be better. You can always acquire skills that would help you work better. That will help you add value to the world that will aid in your contribution to society, that kind of thing. You can always grow, and this growth starts with self awareness, knowing yourself, knowing the areas where you need to improve. And so that's what I've been thinking of self preservation, self awareness, and so I was checking out the extremes. I checked the extremes of self preservation where people can be extreme, where the only thing they're thinking of is survival and how to protect themselves from this situation that they see as dangerous. And it can lead to isolation. Yeah, that's bad. It can lead to isolation, but then there's a healthy balance of simply setting boundaries, knowing how to say no, communicating that, okay, this conversation with the way it's going, you don't think you would like to participate in it in the long run, and you can just end things there. You can just really open your mouth and talk instead of running away. And it's a good thing that I'm learning. Also, on Friday, no, not on Friday, on Wednesday, when I went out, I bought two books. See how they, is it cheated me that I'll say? I saw a novel. I thought it was written by Nora Roberts because Nora Roberts is a well-known romance novel writer. And I opened the back of the book. I saw Nora Roberts there. But in front, I was seeing another name. And then my friend was there. She was telling me that, are you sure this is the writer of the book? I was like, yes, yes, yes. Maybe the name in front is just the name of the character in the book. But I really think it was marketing. The real author of that book used Nora Roberts' name to market that book. So I ended up not buying the Nora Roberts book, but I'm still going to read it, sha. And I also saw a book that my mom had mentioned in passing. She mentioned it twice at home that she follows some creators on social media, and there's one finance creator that's always talking about top five finance books, blah blah blah, and psychology of money is always one of them. And so she asked me twice if I had the book, and I'm like, no, I don't have the book. And I don't even know why I didn't think of going to look for the book online. But she was then like, oh, she doesn't want to read, she wants hard copy, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Reading more hard copy books will help because staring at the phone screen has done enough damage to my eyes. And so while I was out that day, the book just caught the corner of my eye. I was like, oh my god, this is a book my mom has been talking about. And I was like, okay, let me get it for her. And if you know how hard it was to keep that a secret, because I was talking to her and she wasn't around because of work. So I was like, oh, when you come back, I have a surprise for you. And I had to keep quiet about the surprise. And I just gave her today before recording this episode. Okay, this morning. And she was like, oh, wow, oh. You know that kind of shock. There's a way. There are two ways people can react to surprises. When they do something for you and you're like, oh my god, and you scream and blah blah blah. And then there's the quiet reaction where you're just so deeply touched, just like, wow, thought of me while doing this. And it was just really cute to see her reacting like that. Now I wanted to record her reaction, but I was like, do I really need to? Let me just experience it here and now. And that's also one thing I have been doing. Just experiencing things in the now and letting them and letting it be. Just like, okay, this is happening right now. I'm going to be in the moment. I'm going to enjoy this. Not every time recording, even though it's good to document your memories and moments, but it's also be nice to be present and enjoy things in the moment. It's beautiful. So that is a breakdown of how my week went. It is okay, I've spoken for well over 30 minutes, and that's good. Also, I met that same okay, no, that's not the same day. I met two weird people that still helped me. On Thursday or Wednesday, the bus I entered, the driver had a bipolar playlist and the music was loud. So he would go from playing Sumisola Agbewi to Burna Boy. And then the other girl that was beside me just be like, this is your driver. And it was so funny. People were not shouting, like, you this man, you used to hear what you think we're in the club, Abby. But it was cute to see Nigerians reacting that way. The guy was just having fun, I beg. But yeah. And I've asked you to leave a comment on how your week went or one thing you are really happy about that happened this week. But Spotify has been playing with this comment section. And that's been another thing going. I don't know if it's still only Nigerians or if it's still only people living in Nigeria that can't comment. But the limitations on people living in Nigeria is now getting too much. I saw in news, okay, I was scrolling on my Substack and I saw a girl that was like, oh, she's happy that she's finally monetized. She made $8 I think she made $8 last month from her publication. I'm like, there are so many Nigerian writers on Substack that have not made a single dime from that app just because they live in Nigeria. So if you want to monetize your Substack, you have to register your Substack as a business in America or other supported countries that they have before you start making money. And it's just a very cumbersome process. And so yeah, limitations. But God will help us. We'll always find a way. Nigerians will always find a way to make our passion pay us one way or the other. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely week next week. Share this, follow. I think you can like, but yeah, sharing is more important. Even if you don't have any caption, just share it so I can reach more listeners. You know that broadcast message that all these people used to send to group chats. Yes, just send it as one of the broadcast message, Thank you all very much for being here today. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. Bye.